يا أيها الناس قد جاءكم برهان من ربكم وأنزلنا إليكم نورا مبينا.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. O Allah, open my heart, make my task easy for me, and remove the knots from my tongue, so that they may understand my speech. The following video is based on the PowerPoint slides I have taught with my new Muslim students, and are targeted towards complete beginners. So either students who have very little recognition of the letters or students who have no recognition of the Arabic letters at all. So in the following few lessons, we will look at each letter of the Arabic alphabet, give its letter name, as well as its phonetic sound. And we will also look at the articulation points, which in Arabic we call the Makhraj of each letter. The Arabic letters cannot be sounded without one of the three short vowels on them. So on each letter we will also sound them with each of the three vowels. So the three vowels, which in Arabic we call harakat, fatha, which is a slanted line above the letter, which has a sound, kasra, which has a e sound, which is beneath the letter, and a dhamma, which has this like a comma, a symbol above the letter. So with each letter we will sound them with fatha, a sound, kasra, e sound, dhamma, u sound, at the same time as learning the letter name, the phonetic sound, and the articulation point of each letter. And we will also look at the letters which, when they have a sukoon. A sukoon is a letter which is free from one of the short vowels, so it doesn't have a short vowels. And the symbol that it can be seen is like a half circle above the letter. Alif is always given as the first letter of the Arabic alphabet. The Alif the letter name is Alif. It shouldn't be pronounced as Alif with a double E between the L and the F. It's Alif without lengthening the I. Alif is actually one of the three long vowels which we have in Arabic. So the three long vowels that we have in Arabic are A, U, and E. And these long vowels cannot be read by themselves. So the alif cannot be read by itself. It has to be joined to the letter before. The articulation point of alif, remember we said the articulation point in Arabic is called al-makhraj. So the makhraj of alif is the empty space in the throat cavity and the mouth cavity. So it's the blue and the green area. So it's using this entire area, starting from the vocal cords here, going all the way through the mouth cavity out of the mouth. So so it's using, it shouldn't say it shouldn't stop anywhere in between here. It should go straight through from the vocal cords all the way out past the two lips. And the alif has a minimum duration of 2 counts. The condition of alif is that it has to be preceded by a letter which has a fatha, so it cannot be read by itself, like we said previously. It has to be joined with a letter which has a fatha before it. So here the ba has a fatha, ba, the sheen has a fatha, sha, and the fa has a fatha, fa. So it has to be joined, the alif has to be joined with the letter before. So the alif can either be written like you can see here in as a straight line, or it can be written as a small, like a small dagger, small sign. In Surah Fatiha we have Maliki, Maliki, not Maliki, Maliki. So this alif is lengthened for 2 counts. So whenever you see the alif without any sign on top of it, then the alif has to be lengthened 2 counts along with the letter before it. So ba, sha, fa, ma. So here maliki. So this letter name is ba, and the phonetic sound is also ba. It's pronounced from between the 2 lips. So when it carries one of the vowels, fatha, dhamma, and kasra, then the lips begin from a closed position and they open, accompanied by the vowel that's on them. So for a fatha sound, the lips have to open vertically, ba. For a dhamma sound, the lips have to circle, bu. And for a kasra sound, the lips have to be accompanied by the dropping of the jaw, bi. Ba, bu, bi. And when the letter is with a sukoon, remember the sukoon has to be joined with the letter before, and the letter before can actually have any vowel on, any short vowel on it. You can have a fatha or a dhamma or a kasra, and it can be any letter as well. So when it's joined to the letter with a sukoon, ab, then the mechanism is that you're going from the lips opening to closing and then immediate opening again, ab. The next letter is da. The letter name is da, and the phonetic sound is also da. The articulation point is the tip of the tongue, which touches the roots of the upper incisors, and it's a thin letter. So when we pronounce it accompanied by one of the vowels, fatha, dhamma, kasra, da, tu, di, da, tu, di. So for the da, we're opening vertically, da. For the tu, we're circling the lips, tu. And for the ti, you're dropping the jaw, ti. So it has to have an e sound. And when it's accompanied by the sukoon symbol, it has to be joined with the letter before, at. A common mistake with the Arabic da is to mix it with the English t, which has running of sound in the English t. So if I was to pronounce the t, I would say ta, tu, ti, which has a clear running of sound in the English letter, whereas the Arabic da does not have the sound running. The sound should be restricted, it's blocked. So it should be ta, tu, ti, not ta, tu, ti, and it should be at, not at. So the characteristics of this letter are very important in distinguishing it from the English t. Another point to note is that this is also a da. So this is called a ta marbuta, which is a tied up da. So this is an open ta, and this is a closed ta. The difference is that if we stopped on this ta, it would still be a ta in stopping as well. So here when we're stopping at, it's still a ta. Whereas if we stopped on a ta marbuta, it becomes a ha in stopping. So for example, the word rahmatan would be rahmah. It would become a ha in stopping. And remember, another way of distinguishing the ta from the ba is the 2 dots which sit above the shape of the letter. So the ta has 2 dots above and the ba has 1 dot above. And the ta marbuta also has 2 dots above, but it's as if the ta has been tied up into a knot. Ta marbuta. The next letter is tha. The letter name is tha, and the phonetic sound is also tha. It's pronounced in the same place as the English th in the word the is pronounced. So the tip of the tongue is held between the upper incisors and the lower incisors. So the tip of the tongue is touching the lower edge of the upper incisors, and this is exactly how the th sound in the English word the is pronounced, the. So this is tha. So the difference between the th sound and the tha sound is that in the tha sound there's a clear running of sound and there's a clear running of breath. So we put when we put when we put the three vowels on them, the fatha, dhamma, kasra, tha, thu, thi, tha, thu, thi. And here you can see how the tha is written when it comes at the beginning of the word. So it's only written on a stalk, and when it comes in the middle of the word, it's also again written on a stalk in the middle, and only when it's written at the end of the word would it be written in its in the boat shaped as it is here. Tha. So the way to recognize a tha is by the three dots. And when we look at the sheen, I will explain how we distinguish the sheen from the tha, because the sheen also has three dots. So here you can see it's written on a stalk when it comes at the beginning, written on one stalk when it comes in the middle, and it's written in its full shape when it comes at the end of the word. Tha, thu, thi. And when it's pronounced with a sukoon, then we join it to the letter before, eth, eth. So you can feel the sound and the breath. So if you were to put your hand in front of your mouth, you could feel the breath running on your hand. Eth, eth. So the key is to keep the tongue in its articulation point until the sound finishes. And in this box you'll see that some letters have more than one letter here written. That's because some letters share an articulation point with more than one letter. So the dhal is also pronounced from the same makhraj, the same articulation point from the tha. So tha, thu, thi, eth. So to summarize the letters we've looked at today, we looked at tha, da, and ba. We also looked at alif, and we also said that the alif cannot be read with a vowel on it, but it's always in the state of sukoon and has to be joined with a letter which is voweled before it. So for the tha, tha, thu, thi, da, tu, ti, ba, bu, bi. And when the letter is with a sukoon, you need to listen out for the characteristics that you can hear. At this point of your Tajweed journey, you wouldn't really learn the characteristics by name this early on, but you will just listen and copy what you can hear on the letter when it's pronounced in the state of sukoon. So eth for the tha, for the ta, at. Be careful, it's not pronounced with the sound running, so it wouldn't be pronounced like at. So make sure there's no sound running on the da when it is in the state of sukoon. And the ba, aba. The ba has a characteristic called qalqala, which means vibration. So the mechanism of applying that characteristic is to jump off the makhraj as soon as you've reached the makhraj. So as soon as you've reached the makhraj of ba, you come off the makhraj straight away. Aba. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. O Allah, glory be to you and all praise due to you. I bear witness that there is none worthy of worship besides you, and I seek forgiveness from you and return to you in obedience.
وأن أتلو القرآن فمن اهتدى فإنما يهتدي لنفسه ومن ضل فقل إنما أنا من المنذرين